Okay, I just didn't want that video to be too long. So I'm gonna now rip up these strips. You guys can do what you think will work best. You can do them longer, a little bit shorter. These middle ones will open up and they'll be long because they're folded. Okay, you guys work with whatever is best, but remember that let the paper go where it wants to go. Don't force it because it's not gonna work very well for you. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so remember these rules. You guys already know these, but remember these rules. One, mix this up before you start, so that because the flour will sink to the bottom and the water will stay on top, and that makes it really watery. So make sure it's mixed up. And then remember to, I'm gonna move this to the side. I'll just hold this out to the side. Remember, because this is going to be such a mess at your house if you don't remember this. It's going to be a mess anyway. And oh, one thing, I don't do that on these tables usually, you guys know, but if you're at your house, you guys can get out a big trash bag, and you can cut it off so that it opens, and you can put that down, and that can be your tablecloth. Or if you have a tablecloth that is the shiny kind that you can wipe off easy, you can do that. So if, like I said, if you don't have one, use a garbage bag. Or just make sure your parents are okay with whatever space you're using, okay? Okay, so one thing is make sure that they're separated. They're gonna be stuck together. Make sure they're separated. You don't wanna do 2 pieces at a time. Now remember this is the biggest thing you need to remember is you dip it all the way in. Okay, now see how drippy it is? Do we want this on our balloon like this? No. Okay, we do not want drips everywhere. It doesn't actually make our balloon any better anyway, our piñata. Okay, remember what we do? Take your fingers like this, sideways, and you pinch it with your fingers and squeegee. Okay, if you can do it this way, but basically you're gonna pinch and squeeze and pull down. Okay, is it dripping? No, but is it wet? Yes, that's what you want. You want it to be wet but not drippy. And then you're gonna put this on the balloon. Now remember, so it doesn't matter where, but see how I'm letting it go where it wants to go and it goes kind of flattish? See, look, if I try to make it go over here, if I have it start here and I want it to go over here, do you see how it wrinkles? That's why I'm saying let the paper go where it wants to. So the paper wants to go down, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna smooth it, right? So you do paper down and smooth it. Where do you do the next one? You guys remember? Okay, remember you always overlap. That means you do it a little bit on top of it. So if this is one piece of paper and this is the next piece of paper, you don't do them side by side, because then there's going to be potentially a crack in the middle, okay? When the balloon's gone, it would fall apart. So you're going to do a little bit on top of each other, or maybe a lot on top of each other, not totally on top, okay? So you dip it all the way, squeegee it, and see how I'm going to layer it? I'm not putting it right next to it, I'm putting it on top a little bit, all right? Smooth it down. Next one. Now I'm going to do a few so that you guys can see, because the balloon is probably going to want to start tipping over. And you guys will be able to see how that works. But remember, you have to cover the entire balloon. You have to cover it with a lot of overlap, because like I said, newspaper isn't super strong. So you need to make sure it's overlapped so that it is strong. The more layers, the stronger it is. See? Oh, there it went. You see that? It just tipped on me and it got stuck on all my other papers, because this is now the heaviest part. That's okay. I'm just going to turn it like this, because now the heaviest part is in the bowl and it will stay there for a while. It'll probably do this to me again. It'll probably roll over again. That's okay. I just roll it over and put the heaviest part in the bowl so that I can work on another part for a little while. Eventually, you do want to have the whole balloon covered in newspaper. Now remember, one thing that's good about having a blue balloon or a colored balloon is that you can see where you've covered and where you haven't. So when I finish mine, I'm going to make sure that there's no blue showing through. Because if there's blue showing through and it's not covered by newspaper, then I know that I haven't done that part yet. Okay? So you're just going to keep doing this. Let's see if it topples over on me again. Should we see? See, I'm doing longer ones, but I'm letting the paper go where it wants to. And I'm got to smooth it down because it started getting wrinkly. Let's see if it keeps staying there. And like I said, I can do longer ones, especially on a bigger balloon, because the curve isn't so tight. It's a wider, bigger curve. Okay. So my paper mache is getting kind of sticky already. I must have not put enough water in it. So I might have to go put more water in it. But I just want to see if it's going to fall on me. Uh-oh, and I have drips. What does that mean? That means I didn't squeegee it well enough. I've got to go back. I've got to make sure I... Remember, sometimes if you get too much paper mache on it, you can actually use the paper mache from the table or from your balloon to get the next one wet. But what we really want to have is that you don't have too much paper mache ever anyway, and then you don't have to use it like that. Okay, do you guys see how much I'm overlapping? Make sure you do that, especially because this is a piñata. Because it's going to be holding stuff inside of it. Oh, there it goes. I knew it. Okay, because it's going to be holding stuff inside of it, it has to be strong. And especially also if you want to have kind of really have a fun time just hitting it when it comes time to hit it with a stick or a bat or whatever. If you make it really thin, it's going to be broken open in no time, which maybe you want that, but you decide, okay? Think about if you guys want to take turns hitting it. If you're going to take turns hitting it, you got to have it thick enough so that it doesn't break all the way through the first time. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to finish this, okay?